We are live right here. It is the Academy Sports Show, your sports show's favorite sports show, and we are live on a Monday night. It is 7 p.m. somewhere, 7 p.m. on the Eastern Standard Time, that is. Make sure you follow us on YouTube, man. Hit us up on YouTube, Academy Sports Show. Search for our faces, like our faces, subscribe to our faces, and trigger that bell. I didn't hear it. Oh, there we go.
Sorry about that. I got construction in the background, so I'm hitting the mute button every once in a while.
And trigger that bell so that way you get a notification when we go live. I got mine. Did you get yours? Did you hear it? Did you hear it?
I got mine.
I got mine. That'll let you know when we live in the comment section. We'll be on fire. So get your comments in. Let us know what you approve of what we say. And we can talk about it live and in charge right here on the Academy Sports Show. We are trying to follow up our biggest show yet. We got our biggest show, man. It was huge. The most views, the most followers, the most shares, the most replays. It was all GOAT Talk last week. So if you want to get some of that, hit the video before this one. And it's titled GOAT Talk. I'll go back and relabel it. You know what it is. Get the podcast up for you. But it was all fueled by the people. The people. It's all fueled by the people, man. The millions and millions of people in the comic section, man. They kept it live. We had a great GOAT discussion about LeBron, Kobe, or the lack thereof, Kobe, MJ. It was a great episode. Great comments from first-time people in the chat, long-time listeners. We had our first interactive show where we had people on live. People was just throwing up the Gmails. I'm like, hey, get at me. I got something to say. So what we do, we put them up on the screen and we let them get their 2 cents in. And that's what we all about here at the Academy Sports Show. So if you want to holler at us, here is our handles. Both our Instagram handles at Dre_on-air and at JWill02. But the most important one is at Academy Sports Show on YouTube. And if you want to hit us up on Gmail, it's simple. It's academysportshow@gmail.com if you want to be any kind of affiliate, if you want to be on the show, if you have your own show and you want to collab, we here for it all. So hit us up on the Gmail and we will get back to you. So that's the intro for the show, man. You see how I'm fired up today. It's championship day. I'm your host, Andre Douglas, and sitting next to me is your host, Joel Williams.
You know what, Dre? I'm going to point back at you. Because I know you feel like you got some ammo today. I know you feel like because the Lake Show got a championship, y'all ready to bring up some stuff from last week.
Whoa.
I'm just saying. But before we get there, Ruben has already commented in the chat. He done already said something. Lakers. And there's one word now. People winning championships now. And we just one word in it, Lakers. You know.
He a diehard, though. Cuz a diehard.
Congrats to the Lakers. But welcome, everybody, to the show. As you heard the man, you know what it is. It's Championship Monday. We had a big-time win took place yesterday. The bubble has burst, and Sports Illustrated cover has been released saying, Bubblicious, the Lakers have won. But before we even get into that and other news and notes, as I always like to say at the beginning of the show, we like to open it up with some things that's going on around the sports world. Big weekend for the NFL in the sense of all of these COVID-19 tests. Man, these players, these players don't seem to know how to act. Or something is going on. Like somebody showing up somewhere with no mask on, somebody doing something. But right now we got a lot of COVID tests going on. The Titans can't get right. The Patriots still having a pop-up here and a pop-up there. So right now we have weird days for football. Tonight is Monday Night Football. That's the normal, regularly scheduled game. However, there is a Tennessee Titans game tomorrow. And then
Tuesday night football.
Tuesday night football, right? And then you had a Buffalo Bills game. They got the Denver game got postponed till next week, which messed up my whole fantasy situation. So it's just a lot going on in the NFL. Also, college sports, college football is going on. Nobody's really talking about this. Like we haven't really talked about it either. A lot of upsets this year. In a normal year, the amount of upsets that have taken place would be front page news, but just with the way things are going on right now, it doesn't look good for some of these teams. LSU out of the top 25. Texas loses again to Oklahoma in the Red River Shootout. Alabama almost goes down to Ole Miss of all schools. Georgia is the number 3 team in the country, and they play Alabama next week. So there's a lot of interesting stuff going on in college football, but nobody's really talking about it. So if you've been following college football, you know that's what's happening right now. And in this neck of the woods, in our neck of the woods, we know Big Ten football starts in about another 2 weeks, and then the Big Ten season opens. So it feels like things are just real off with college football. Like, I don't know if the upsets just don't mean as much, or like people are just like, well, you know, considering their off season it's easy to make excuses for them this year. So, and then of course you guys have heard the Lakers won the NBA championship last night, and we're going to talk about it tonight.
This is for you.
Oh no, you did not, sir. No, you did not. No, you did not. Okay. We're not gonna talk heavy. See, he made me change, y'all. Y'all heard the man. He made me change. We was gonna go to LA and talk NBA, but real quick, in the NFL, the Browns are 4-1, baby. The Browns are 4-1. Cleveland. This is for you. And the Lions had a bye week, and I heard the bye week won 21-14. But yes, let's get into it, man. That's the news and notes of the week. Let's get into it.
Let's
talk NBA.
Moving says Laker. Akil gives the crown in the 4 championships in the comment section. Shane says, I want to know what you think. Why is it okay for Shaq to play for 16, but not okay for LeBron? We'll get to that. Mama V says, hi, fellas. Hey, Mama,
hey,
what's going on? Let's get into it. But you know, we got to get some things out the way first, because I want to pay homage to the other team, okay? There was another team in this finals. And that other team was the Miami Heat. So they got smacked last night. But I don't think that was indicative of their finals performance or their playoff run. So the first question I have to ask after watching that game and watching how much they exerted in Game 5, did Miami just run out of gas, man?
I feel like the run out of gas discussion is an excuse. I feel like that's making an excuse for them. No, they didn't run out of gas. They're a good team. They played better than people thought against the Lakers, but I think that is because people thought a little too highly of the Lakers in a sense, because the Lakers had some deficiencies. I would argue that the others for the Heat are better than some of the others for the Lakers. The Lakers others were trash, bro. Danny Green is trash, sir. KCP is trash.
Listen, but they played their roles. Their roles would be spot up 3-point shooters. They played their roles. Now, the guys that were supposed to do more, that's Kyle Kuzma. He's a hot dumpster fire. He wasn't that guy off the bench that they expected him to be.
But the other guys weren't playing their role. Danny Green's role was to make shots.
Who?
Danny Green's role was to make shots. He didn't make them.
He made shots in the blowout.
KCP's role was to make shots. He went 2 for 6. He went 2 for 6 yesterday in from 3-point range, but he did make a couple throw ups and they went off the glass.
He made big shots in Game 5.
This series should have been over in 5. It shouldn't have gone 6 because the others didn't do their job. Did the Miami Heat run out of gas? No. Akil said it. Jimmy ran out of gas for sure because Jimmy was trying to be more than Jimmy is really supposed to be.
But Jimmy is the Miami Heat. Jimmy played 47 out of the 48 minutes. I mean, and he's only on 1 day's rest. So when your best player, let's be honest now. Nobody thought of Jimmy Butler as a superstar. But Jimmy Butler ascended, right? You would think so. You guys You guys were so ready to crown Jamal Murray as the next superstar. Give Jimmy buckets his due. He went toe-to-toe with LeBron James in the finals and got 2 games, 2 triple dubs, and got another game that most people thought that was going to happen. So I think he ran out of gas. He's immortal going against a king, and he ran out of gas. But it was a good run out of gas. It was I gave every single thing that I had. It just wasn't enough.
I agree. Jimmy ran out of gas. I think that the others, it just caught up with them. His others are babies to this. His others are young. His others are inexperienced. So I think that his supporting cast, they couldn't keep up, and that definitely played a role because if this team, in order to win these 2 games, Jimmy has to score 40 points. That's not even Jimmy. That's not Jimmy Butler at all.
In a triple double.
Yeah, he had to do everything, and even when they were beating the Celtics, even when they were winning, getting to do them first few rounds, he didn't have to do all of this.
Right.
So yes, did he ascend to another level? Absolutely. Did he turn up? Absolutely. Did his others run out of gas? I don't know. I think the moment the avalanche finally just rolled him up and caught him. And it was one of those things where Jimmy had to do this again. I was just telling somebody else, Jimmy's not going to give you 40 again. Like, we knew that. When they won Game 5, you almost knew that Game 6 was going to be, although you wanted it to be close and wanted to believe that Miami could really possibly do this, Game 5 was going to be a repeat of Game 3. Or, I'm sorry, Game 4, when Jimmy went off in Game 3, and then the Lakers held it down in Game 4. And the Avalanche just hit him, and I think Jimmy ran out of gas.
Jimmy did run out of gas. And as the man, he's the man that, the guys kind of fed off that. Plus, credit to the Lakers, they changed it up on them. They didn't think that, they was going to make that change in the starting lineup. And it was just an avalanche effect from there. Defensively, they really attacked Jimmy defensively. AD stepped up his game defensively. Caruso was a shot in the arm defensively. And they really just, they played the way that they wanted to play in the beginning of the season. They defense was going to predicate their offense. So they put the clamps down, and it was a real defensive clamps on Miami. Like, Duncan Robinson didn't get off. I mean, Duncan Robinson having great games. Tyler Hero having great games. They really just shut all that down. Rondo had a better game than he did in games 4 and 5, and everything just clicked for them, and it was an avalanche. But I think it all started with Jimmy, and that Akil says the Lakers supporting cast will be better next year. Has to be. Golden State, Brooklyn, Clippers, Denver, and whoever Giannis ends up are going to be problems. Leonardo said, well, if you don't have the whole rotation, and Dragic would set up Duncan and Hero, and without him, those two are neutralized, and so it was all on Jimmy. Well, okay, to the second comment, right? Dragic wasn't there, but they won 2 games without Dragic, right? They won 2 games without the Dragon, and Duncan and Tyler got off in those 2 games. He came back, and they got killed. So it'll be something. Is it something about that? I don't know. I think it's more of Jimmy ran out of gas, so they got demoralized because he wasn't there to pick him up. I mean, the man was playing crazy minutes. He couldn't sit on the bench. He was their heart and soul, and it's just something about a guy trying to ascend in superstardom who nobody puts him in that category. And he lifted his nuts up and did what he could for his team. And I got to commend the guy for that. Like, I got to give him, before we even get to the Lakers, I got to give Jimmy Butler his props because a lot of people wouldn't have done that for their franchise. So the same time y'all was giving Jamal Murray all that praise, y'all got to give Jimmy Butler all that praise too.
I missed I don't know why Jamal Murray's name keeps coming up. I missed the wanting to crown Jamal Murray as the next superstar.
Well, it was like he's the next. The Denver has 2 superstars now. Jamal Murray's great. Like they was all over his shot. But I'm just saying, I'm just using that as a comparison. But like Jimmy Butler took his team to the finals, and he got 2 games against LeBron. I mean, Iverson only got 1 game against Shaq.
The Sixers that team was horrible.
That team was horrible. That's true.
Eric Snow was a shooting guard on that team. It's
my point is give Jimmy his due. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, okay. I mean, congrats, Jimmy, on getting 2 games and losing in the NBA Finals to LeBron. I mean, I don't. You going to give me some credit because you got 2 games. I mean, everybody picked Lakers in 6. I don't think Dragic makes a difference. It makes it maybe more competitive, but everybody picked Lakers in 6 except for Kobe.
All right,
who picked the Heat in 6.
Last question on Jimmy: is he elite now? Is he in the upper echelon? Is he top 10? Comments. I need comments. Is Jimmy
top 10?
Is Jimmy top 10 right now?
I
would say he's definitely top 10 in his position because a shooting guard around the league is in a deep position. But is he top 10 talent in the league?
Top 10.
Can you name 10 guys better than Jimmy right now?
I feel like we can name 10 guys better than Jimmy right now. I feel like we can. He's definitely top 10 for his position, like you said. I would say I'm more comfortable with top 15. I think this series he ascended. I think he led his team. But if you go back and listen to or look at the first 2 series, like look at his series progression, a lot of what they did in the Eastern Conference before getting to the finals was a real team effort. There was a lot of Hero, there was a lot of Dragic, there was a lot of Bam, there was a lot of big things happening from a lot of big people. A lot of people on that team. So where you was having these moments where you had all these guys and they were being looked at as the team, being looked at as the franchise. Like, this is how we should do it. We are here to win. We're going to, all these things. Then you get to the finals and he takes off. Now, is that takeoff consistent of Jimmy? Like, is that it, or was that takeoff the perfect storm of the finals and kind of everything that was this year, 2020? Does he come back next year and be this guy consistently? Is he this triple-double guy more often? Is he this double-double guy more often and they take it over? Or is he, like Leonardo just points out, man, y'all on it tonight in the comments, is he just a heart guy? Is he a will guy that in that perfect bubble, in that perfect scenario where you only got to win 4 and you get this repetitiveness of who you're playing against, is he that guy just in the moment? He definitely played at a top 15 player level for right now. Has Jimmy been that this whole time and we just saw it open up finally? Or was that just a result of the situation? I'm not ready to give him superstardom yet. I'm thinking top 15 though.
Top 15. That's respectable.
Brian says 11 overall. Akil says he's in the argument for top 10 to 15. Akil keeps saying Bron. Jimmy has a big heart which can't be measured. Yep. He's naming Bron, KD, AD, Giannis, Kawhi, Harden are clearly better. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. See, that's 6 people right there. So I think top 10 is a stretch. I think top 15 is respectable.
Okay. All right. So let's get off Miami and let's go to the champs.
Okay. The champs are here. Let's get to it because we all know where this is going.
We had a little discussion last week.
Yep, we all know where this is going.
Talk. And, some people are real disrespectful to the king. And
disrespectful because they don't agree with him being the GOAT? That's called disrespectful?
Disrespectful. Hey, give Laker Nation their respect.
Oh, man.
Give my coach their respect. Give my general manager his respect. Damn it. Give me my respect. 4 titles, 4 finals MVPs. Does this new entry change the conversation for those who didn't have him as the GOAT?
Absolutely not. First of all, you expected this. Y'all, this was one of those series that if he had lost, it would have been worse he would have got a worse hit than he would get a boost for winning. Y'all knew this series was done when it was Miami and LA. Nobody really thought they were going to lose this series.
That don't mean nothing.
It does mean something.
It don't mean nothing.
This doesn't
take away Kobe's titles for beating a trash Iverson team or beating a trash Indiana team or beating the trash New Jersey Nets team.
I'm not saying ain't nobody taking away his titles. Ain't nobody taking away the title. What we're pointing out is, does this change the conversation? What does it change? It changes his number from 3 to 4. What does it change his MVP number from 3 to 4? What does it do? It puts him closer to GOAT status. This is still here.
That's all you got.
That's all you need. That's all you need. You got 6 of these. 6-0 in 6 attempts. Not 4 and 5 or 4 and 6 in 10 attempts. Sir? And I'm a LeBron guy. I'm born and raised. I've been following him, been a fan. I'll follow him everywhere he goes. I'll root for the man. But the only time you'll ever hear me bring him down is in this debate. He is not Mike. He is not the GOAT. Bill Russell got 11. Stop it. We talked about this last week. We're not revisiting it. Bill Russell was 8 feet tall. Bill Russell was the giant in the Bible. And everybody else was my man with was David with the slingshot. Stop it. For Bill Russell. The greatest player to ever play is Mike.
Bron will have to win 7 to even touch MJ in certain people's minds. The sullied minds. I feel like
Bron will have to win 6 for us to have a real conversation.
I feel like this is real get off my lawn-ish. Like, just the old, just like, I saw what I saw and I ain't coming off of it.
But I've seen them both. I've seen it both. I have eyes for both. Your generation has only been witness to LeBron. That's half of your argument. Is, well, I didn't see Mike, so I don't understand Mike.
But I respect it though. But it's still something to it though. Like,
why are we
he had a top 50 player on his team of all time while he was winning those titles.
He wasn't a top 50 while he was winning those titles.
He went through I mean, who was his competition? The Knicks? The Knicks of all people? Like, I mean, he wasn't going against super teams. LeBron is going through super teams. He did it in the East and the West.
Pause that argument. Pause that argument for 1 second. If you want to bring up Hall of Famers, okay, this is what you want to do. This is why I don't understand why.
That's the only area they got to go off. Of course, they're all Hall of Famers.
Just the question.
Of course, they're all Hall of Famers. They didn't win jack, though.
Wait,
of course, they're all Hall of Famers.
You can't bring it up. Don't bring it up and then try to knock it down.
They didn't win nothing.
But don't bring it up and try to knock it down. Y'all bring it up, and then you try to knock that same argument off the pedestal. You can't do that. If you're gonna bring up that LeBron, that Mike played with a top 50 all-time great player who wasn't a top 50 all-time great player at the time that he played with him, but it says you want.
Did he become top 50 when Mike wasn't there?
No, listen, they didn't even pick the top 50 until like 97.
That don't mean he wasn't currently a top 50 player when he was playing.
These were top 50 of all time. Okay?
Yes, he's a top 50 player of all time.
If you go back to the 80s and 90s, a majority of your Hall of Fame greatest players come from that generation. So while y'all busy talking about him not having to beat super teams, he had to beat dogs. Don't give me that. Y'all can't say
he had to beat one dog per team. There's multiple dogs on multiple teams that Bron has to go through.
How many? Hey, sir. How many super teams did Bron beat? 2. He beat the Spurs and he beat the Warriors. Now, if we're going to get technical, he lost to the Spurs. He was 1-1. No, he's 1-2 against the Spurs. And he's 1-2 against the Warriors. Sir.
So you're gonna hold against a title that a championship that nobody knew he was going. Nobody picked him to win. because he was 19 in the finals.
Well, we're gonna give him credit for titles that he won and nobody picked him to lose, aren't we?
People forget Jordan stats all the time. So can we forget that too then?
How do we forget? No, who forgets Jordan stats?
All the times he done lost in the first round. All the times he done got beat. All the times he done got eliminated. Nobody ever says none of that stuff. He's 6-0 in the finals. Yeah, nigga, it took him 8 years to do it because he kept getting eliminated in the first round. Nobody talks about that. But everybody picks up, Brian lost his first time in the finals. Yeah, he was like 20 with Delonte West and Daniel Marshall against a super team in the Spurs. But they put that against him all the time. But y'all forget when Mike mess up. Mike does no wrong. He's 6-0. Yeah, but that nigga was struggling half his career. Struggling. And you know what? Guess what? He was a Washington Wizard too. That happened. Nobody says anything about that. Nobody says that. It just magically disappears. Nobody cares about Michael's downfalls. You only say he's 6-0. No, that nigga struggled. And nobody ever says nothing about that. Wow. Every time LeBron struggles, front and center.
Everybody points out the struggles in the same light.
Never.
They both went through the turmoil and the struggle of getting to greatness. It's a part of all the greatness progression. You have to go and beat those that are ahead of you that are great. Mike did it. LeBron did it. Y'all's argument in this generation doesn't hold because it has all these little outs in it. Now you want to bring up how he struggled to get through the Celtics and the Pistons and
you just brought up LeBron struggles. I brought up Mike struggles.
No, I didn't bring up struggles.
He's 1 and then he's 2. He's 1 and 2 against this team. He's 1 and 2 against this team.
That's because y'all bring up super teams, and you bring up his greatness against super teams. Let's see what the talk
LeBron,
is.
Mike never had to go against a super team.
Mike never had a super team. Leonardo says,
stacked. What are you talking about?
What was he stacked with? He was stacked with who? John Paxson? B.J. Armstrong?
He won
Bill
him a game. He won him a game.
Right. And Danny Green didn't. Leonardo says Michael is the GOAT that played in 6 finals and won all 6 titles. LeBron has won on 3 different ships on different teams, but you can't lose 6 ships and expect to be the GOAT. Sports Dad Steven said, I have to agree with Joel on this one. Also, I have to agree with Scotty P about the bubble not being a real NBA experience. We're going to talk about that. Sports Dad Steve is always coming through with the jab, ready to start up some trouble. Akil says the talent level is deeper now. He says especially on the wing. Cedric is laughing. He says Chicago had to build a team around Jordan while being great as an individual. Leonardo says LeBron created his own super team in Miami, and Michael had Doug Collins as his coach and didn't win, but as soon as he got Phil Jackson, he won, and Scottie Pippen became an all-star. Cedric said LeBron had to do the same thing. All right. So it looks like there's a split still. Your question originally was, does this change the conversation? Does this change the narrative? That's an absolute no. All right, buddy.
Absolute no.
Get off my
lawn, old man.
That's not a get off my lawn. What about this just changed the narrative? How does he now become the GOAT, winning his 4th title?
He won his 4th title.
Okay.
His 4th finals MVP.
Okay.
On a different team in the West and went through the Western Conference.
Uh-oh. Okay.
And led the league in assists.
He went through the Western Conference.
Y'all trash him all the time, but it's the East.
Hold on.
It's the East.
I don't trash him on the East.
East. So he did the same thing in the West.
Hey, he went through the
niggas in the East.
He went through the West.
He did the same thing in the West.
Did he beat the? Oh, never mind. Because I know the answer to that is we can't talk about who wasn't around because that just is what it is. We don't penalize players for playing who they play. Okay.
He went to a whole different conference and did the same thing he did in the East. Number 1 seed in the West. He beat your Clippers with Paul George and all this. Didn't even make it. Beat everybody else. Number 1 seed in the West. He didn't have to play the Clippers. Led the league in assists.
Didn't have to play the Warriors.
Got a 4th title. Got a 4th finals MVP.
All right.
Showed up and showed out.
Okay.
No matter who the competition was.
Good. Guess what that sounds like? This sounds familiar. Guess what? What you just
You're
described.
saying the needle didn't move at all. Like the confetti popped, and he still didn't do nothing.
He's still number 2 on my board, and he doesn't even. Everything you just described is him doing what he's supposed to do, because he's one of the greatest to ever play the game. He went out west. He went and got him somebody. As he stated, I had to go out and get my guy and convince him to come and all of that. He went out and got his help. All right, cool. Well, hold on, let me finish. That's what they do in the 2000s and 10s and beyond.
That's who his competition is.
That's what they do now.
You want this man to stay in Cleveland with nobody and get his ass kicked every year because everybody got 2 to 3 superstars.
I never said
you
that.
Want him
Don't
to do
put words in my mouth.
But you're penalizing him for
I'm
it.
not penalizing. I'm stating facts.
You just threw him under the bus for getting another guy to help him.
See, y'all get so emotional. LeBron fans.
You just
I'm pointing out
under the bus for no reason.
I'm pointing out what
Mike
I'm lining him up.
By himself with a
No,
championship coach.
That's what
the greatest coach of all time.
Let me finish.
All by himself with a top 50 player. He did it all by himself. One of the best 3-point shooters of all time. He did it all by himself. Get out of here.
I just want to finish. It's not what I was saying. I'm comparing.
You're shading the comparison.
No, I'm not. I'm not even let me finish my comparison. He had his help. Jordan has his help. Jordan won 6. He's won his 4th. How is the needle moved?
That's all you got.
This dude, Jordan, dominated the game.
It wasn't nobody to dominate. It was 1 star per team.
How do you know? You didn't even see it.
It wasn't even nobody in his position for him to be mano with.
You didn't even grow up in the era. You didn't even see it.
Name me one person in his position that he battled for his career.
Wait, one person that he battled for his career. Who are we naming?
One person in his position that he battled in his career that was even on his level. The LeBron Kawhi talks now. The LeBron Durant talks. Name the super team that Mike went against. You want to say that eras are totally different? They are, because this era has
super team,
stupid top-loaded teams, and his era had 1 superstar team.
He was also on those top-loaded teams. It's not like listen.
To make them to compete.
Okay, so guess what? If he had won with his one player and did his one little thing, he did what he did in his era. That's what they do now. They team up and they get it done. Don't penalize Mike, because Mike didn't have to do that, but Mike was great and changed the game, and you know the game because of Mike. The world knows the game because of Mike, and that everybody is compared to Mike. Why is everybody mad at Mike? This is an argument that will never change. It will never change. You thought, well, you got to be compared to greatness. You got to be. It goes this way in every sport. Who's the greatest quarterback of all time?
That makes my point.
No, it doesn't.
Joe Montana didn't lose, but we still say Tom Brady's to go.
Hey, how many does Brady have?
6.
How many does Joe have?
3.
Not 6.
But he's undefeated in the Super Bowl.
I don't care. Listen, Tom Brady has how many?
But
6.
He lost.
Tom Brady has 6. What did he lose? What is he, 6 for 8? 6 for 7? What did he lose?
He lost 3.
He lost to the Giants?
He lost 2 to the Giants and 1 to Philly.
All right, so he's at least 6 for 9. He won more than he lost. He's 6-3 in Super Bowls. Is that what you're saying? You're arguing right now that the GOAT, your GOAT.
It is. Sir, but I'm trying to poke holes in your argument.
I'm poking holes in yours. He's 4 for 6. 4 for 6, sir. 4 for 6. He's lost more than he's won. How can he be the GOAT?
Because he had to play harder teams.
Oh, God.
If you had to play against Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and Kevin Durant, you would lose too.
Yeah. he did, too.
Everybody did. The world lost. Because as soon as they got together, it was like, all right, they just bought a championship. But he still tried. He still got games out of them.
That doesn't make trying doesn't
He had
make
to
you
go
the
get it. He had
GOAT.
to go get a game with. He should have been Finals MVP losing with Matthew Dellavedova and Tristan Thompson.
Don't you have more questions on your
Average a
list?
triple double.
Don't you have
Gets
more
no
questions?
credit for it.
He
But
does get
nobody
credit. He gets credit. He's the second greatest player.
I'm sorry. No credit. But nobody ever brings up Jordan's failures. But you're also quick to bring up LeBron's. That's all I'm saying.
Oh, everybody
Y'all
brings up
just sat
Jordan's
in it. It was
failures.
like, oh, yeah.
The narrative of Jordan is the fact that he failed before he became great. That is the whole narrative of Jordan. But here's the thing. You bring up his failures, you bring up his greatness. You bring up LeBron's failures, and you bring up his greatness. The difference in the greatness is when you talk about the ultimate level of greatness, Jordan is perfection.
Is it? He kept losing to get there.
The ultimate level of greatness, Jordan is perfection. On the big, this is how we judge people. And nobody wants to have this debate and just clean it and put it right in the box. How do you judge?
Because it's too simple.
That's not too simple.
It is. I mean, you discredit.
Why do we want it? Why do we want it?
Bill Russell for getting 11 championships. Obviously, you discredit some people for some stuff.
Yep, we discredit all of them.
We discredit them. So so I'm discrediting Mike's.
All right, you have a right to 6-0.
Discredited.
4 versus 6. You're not discrediting his 6-0. You can't. You can't discredit LeBron's
competition.
Okay.
If it was a wet paper bag and Mike beat it every time, then of course he won 6 titles.
Okay. If it was a wet paper bag, listen, and I'm glad he definitely doesn't watch our show. We know he doesn't, right? But when you want to talk about wet paper bags, the reason you discredit the early age greatest players like the Bill Russells is because you look at the level of competition and you know it was wet paper bag. Okay? Like, you know it was. So that's why you don't give him that talk of top, because you count 11. Because we know if you go back then, the physicality, all that was different. Jordan arguably played in the toughest era of basketball. The toughest era. So while you want to point out Jeff Hornacek, Akil just pointed out, you want to point out all these other oh, no way. No way. Yeah, right. Is this somebody trying to spam us or something? We got to check that. If you want to point out the toughest era of basketball, then you point out this era of basketball with the super teams and all of that. Those are points for each player. As at the end of the day, you measure the GOAT level on 100%. How did they do on the biggest stage? Y'all hate that argument because you can't discredit 6-0. How did they do on the biggest stage? Give him his credit.
So that's all I'm saying.
Okay.
That's all I'm saying.
All right.
That's it. That's all I'm saying. Level of competition matters to some people. That's all. So if somebody going to get super teams, nobody cares.
Doesn't look like this trade is real.
No, I didn't see that either.
I'm looking up stuff right now.
Thanks for wasting our time.
And real quick in other news too. Let's wait till the end. We got to but I'll make sure we bring it up. All right. You had a series of things to bring up. I'm waiting. Toughest era of basketball was the 80s, which Jordan got whooped in. Most talented era in the last 10 years. I would argue that. But okay. I think Jordan learned his lessons in the 80s, which may help make him great in the 90s, but okay. Flip or non-flop is the GOAT. Who's that? Oh, wait, still Jordan is the GOAT. Akil said he was being guarded by Jeff Hornacek. You guys are good. I mean, I appreciate the fact that you guys are running with the who is he guarded by and all of that. It's fair. Go ahead, bro. Your question was, does it change the conversation? The conversation to me was Jordan won, LeBron 2. LeBron just won another title. He's at 4, and he did it with a great franchise, with a great team, and it puts him in the spot he's been in. He's been there. He's been the second greatest player of all time, and he just added another title to his resume. That's all I got for you. I'm sorry. It's not a get off my lawn. I acknowledge everything that you throw out there, but yeah, maybe let's see. LeBron's got some more years left, right? Right? LeBron needs two more to get six.
All right, whatever. I can't get to you. So it's just
Can't get to you.
I can't. It's all right. We just don't see eye to eye on stuff. I still love you.
All right.
Uh,
It's good to know. Love you too, bro.
LeBron is still adding on his resume. When he's finished, then you can legitimately have the discussion. Of course, but we're a sports show, so we got to do the sports kind of stuff. So to illuminate Cephas's question, the bubble is this championship more leaning towards an asterisk, as in all the things going on, you didn't have to play in front of fans, or does it lean towards the hardest championship to win because there were no fans and you were isolated in a room all by yourself, eating this crappy food and being moments away from seeing your opponent at a fishing lodge? So which way is this? Which way is this leaning? Is this leaning more towards asterisk title or leaning more towards this was a tough title?
I think this was a tough title. 100%. I think this was a tough title. There's arguments on both sides, right? There just for a lot of the things that would have made it harder. There were things that made it harder, and then the flip of it is the stuff that made it easy was a weird easiness to it because it was still kind of hard. Let me explain. The one thing you would talk about is home court advantage, right? It's hard to go into somebody else's arena and win games. It's one of the toughest things to do in any sport, let alone especially in the NBA. A lot of times in these series, you can tell the better team, usually the home court team, opens up 2-0, right? And then you have the proverbial game 3. Or occasionally, sometimes you have the 1-1 split, and then you're going home and the pressure's on the favorite to go into to the other building and get one because they got one in your building. So like those factors weren't there. Then at the same time, look at the dynamics of what they just did. These dudes went into the bubble in July, and for the Heat and the Lakers, they were in the bubble. They've been in the bubble since July, and these are top tier athletes that were just living in hotels for 3 months, 4 months without family. With a lot of the amenities that they normally would have, they did not have. A lot of the comforts, a lot of the training. Of course, the organizations brought as much as they could into this process, and of course, I'm sure they brought chefs in, and they tried to make this thing as close as possible. So while you didn't have that travel, you had all of these things going on inside of a situation to only then have a situation where you couldn't get back outside to what was happening outside in the world as well. So you had to try to harbor that and be a voice for change. So I think there were just a lot of other factors that played a strong role in this being tough. That while some things that they normally would have be tough, they weren't there. The things that got replaced with it, you could argue were just as tough to manage. Even the idea of no crowd, right? Some would say that's actually harder to do because you feed off of that energy. There's a level of adrenaline that you get from people being in the stands. And so they were all doing something unprecedented. They were playing in conference rooms, basically. The man-made basketball courts, practicing in conference rooms, eating, like you said, right down the sidewalk from your opponent. I think I saw a video last night of Jimmy Butler walking out the hotel, and just to his left was the party that the Lakers were having that's celebrating a championship. A la Cam Newton having to hear the guy behind the curtain say, "You suck for 4 quarters, and y'all want to ask me these stupid questions after the Super Bowl." So I think at the end of the day, I think it would be a disservice to these guys, all of them, through every team that made it through this process to get as far as they did, to knock this championship or to knock this experience or to somehow undercut them.
I totally agree. I agree. I feel like this was hard. I feel like, look at the young guys in these series. Like, they didn't have the crowd yelling at them, but you got grown men talking major trash to you. Like, you can hear everything. on the court.
Everything.
Like you can hear everything, and like you can probably get psyched out by this moment more than anything. Like so, you really have to focus up. I think they were really commending the Miami Heat because this atmosphere really helped the way they play basketball. They're a grind out, kind of tough it out team. Don't really care about much, but playing good hard nosed basketball. So I definitely agree with you. I mean, having to come somewhere taking swabs in the nose every day, staying in a hotel away from my family for 3.5, 4 months, eating crappy cafeteria food and trying to come up with a game plan against somebody and then seeing them walk by the recreational room the same day. It definitely felt like it would have been hard. I don't see how this could be an asterisk title. Like it just seems like a very legit title in my book. That's about a level of difficulty. Like you said, some things are replaced with other things. So I can, if it was just a cakewalk all the way around, that'd be one thing. But I definitely see that. All right, so let's move on to the future now. So AD is on he's on a player option right now. He can buy in this player option for almost $30 million, or he can reject the player option, become a free agent, and sign any team that he wants to, but LA can offer him more money since he played with him last. I think we all expect AD to resign with the Lakers, whether it be a 1-year deal due to the CBA not having enough money next year, the salary cap, all that stuff. The max might be bigger down the line, seeing as how much money the NBA lost. So maybe he buys into his option. Maybe he does a 1-and-1. Who knows? But I think everybody figures he's going to return to the Lakers, right?
I think that this is a no-brainer. I mean,
Bring.
why? I don't even. It just makes no sense. Like to me, wouldn't it be? Well, no, Kawhi did it, but I mean,
To leave after a title.
you leave after you win one. I think part of that with Kawhi, right, is like I'm in Toronto, like I got a chance to go home, and kind of do it
Yeah.
in my hometown.
I mean,
AD,
so does AD. You got a chance to go back to Chicago.
yeah, right. No, I think you got to look at that and say, yeah, my odds are this, and I think he has to. Maybe you look at it and say, down the road as things grow. I mean, if I'm you, AD, pull a LeBron, do a 1-and-1, do the whole thing with, you pick up your option, you renegotiate. I mean, let your agent work that magic. Keep the I guess the pressure on the Lakers per se, and then I mean, how many years left do we have of LeBron, and then we can have this conversation about his greatness and things of that when he retires from the league to when now it becomes your team. It becomes this is your place. But I mean, you're in a big media market, right? It's got LA has all the things that most say this is
Right.
what the athletes want.
He was in New Orleans. He wanted out of New Orleans, small market.
There you go. So, and you just won a championship. What else is there outside of re-up
And
and
you're
doing
playing
it
with
again?
LeBron.
So, and you're with an organization that has no problem spending. I mean,
Right.
they're the Lakers, so there's
Whatever that
money
cap is,
everywhere.
they're gonna go over.
Exactly. So, and then there's a challenge coming next year. I think there will be a level of question to this championship. People will question the legitimacy of it. People will also say, well, you didn't have to play a healthy Warriors team. They'll bring up reasons to get these guys back in the lab to say, all right, they doubting us again. Let's make a second go at it. So I think he stays. I think it's a no-brainer. I don't even know what other team that makes even any sense to, because I'm not sure he can win one by himself.
Yeah, I don't think he's there yet, which leads us to how long will it take for him to become the alpha male? You see all the, we're both alpha males. I love all the subliminal shots to Kyrie. There's no jealousy between us. We motivate each other. I love the subliminal shots at
Right.
Kyrie.
I think.
Go ahead.
No, I think we're still at least another year from that. I think next year there's still LeBron's team. But I think what you can't deny, and I don't know that LeBron will ever say that you can or cannot deny it, or that he'll ever admit this, but you can see games where AD's dominance is AD, and there's nothing. It's not because of LeBron. It's because AD is being AD. So, AD can't win one by himself, just like LeBron can't. Give me a bell. All right, I gave you a bell because you asked for it. But I think you have to be mindful, like of that piece where I think LeBron. I think LeBron will maybe naturally give that up, like maybe D Wade gave it up to him when he came into his hole. I don't see LeBron as being the guy that can't do that. But I still think we're a year or so from that. I think it'll happen because now I think LeBron's greatness is showing up in moments now and not necessarily in like whole game situations all the time. You're starting to see his numbers be what 26, 10, and 10. You know, 16, 15, and 12.
Well,
right?
I mean, on the jump, Richard Jefferson had a good point. He was saying, LeBron leading the league in assists this year shows people that want to come to the Lakers that he's willing to change his game around. Like he's evolving into a different kind of player. Like he's not a ball dominant player, but when he doesn't need to be, but he's definitely willing to change his game around other people because he's just that you definitely see the writing on the wall.
Absolutely, yeah. And so I think that's what you're going to see as the years progress. I mean, how many does he have? He's got maybe 2, 3, maybe. I mean, you're looking at LeBron, year 20, thinking like this is the farewell tour. This is year 17, right?
Yep.
So can we see? You think he can do it? I mean, no, I'm not doubting him. Clearly, he's shown us he's elite.
Right.
But what are we looking at? Year 19 or year 20 are probably his last. And I think by then you'll see AD be that dominant guy.
LeBron's 35, about to turn 36. So in 2 more years, 36, 37, 30, 38, 39 years old, 4 more going into his 40s, still playing at a high level. I don't know. People will take that into account. If he gets 6 rings, but he's only got 4 MVPs, and Anthony Davis gets the other, 3 MVPs.
You think they would ever give him MVP? Do you think they would ever give somebody else an MVP? I don't.
I'm just saying, like you were saying, his numbers are going down. So if LeBron comes down to a 29-9 kind of guy, which is still a stat line that anybody will want, but AD becomes the 35, 10-7 kind of guy, and he gets the Finals MVPs, but Bron's still getting those rings, does 6 championships and 4 MVPs mean the same thing to somebody who still wants to discredit
him? We'll see.
Ice got 6 Finals MVPs. LeBron couldn't even do that.
Yeah, there will be some discrediting for that. I'm not saying where that discrediting might come from, but you're right. You point out that might be an argument. I think you still have to see how it's done. I think we have to see it play out. You have to see what that looks like. You have to see does AD take it over and dominate, and LeBron looks like the second guy, or does AD take over and dominate, but everybody keeps saying the reason they keep winning these championships is because of LeBron. Like right now, they're still winning them because of LeBron, and AD was the helper. We don't know the narrative where that switches, and we don't know what that looks like when AD is the guy and LeBron's the number 2. Does it look like the way it looked with D Wade and Bron, and how does that all kind of shape out? I think that'll have a lot to do with the argument as well.
Okay. I don't think we got a chance to talk about this. Do you think at the end of Game 5 that was the right play for LeBron to draw the defense, kick it to Danny for the win, or do you think LeBron should have cleared out and took the last shot?
I think that there was the absolute 100% right play. I think that people knock him for something that is I don't know, it's kind of weird to me that whole like you damn a guy if he does, but then you damn him if he doesn't. Like I'm just wondering about the whole idea that the dude had 3 or 4 guys on him literally, and he made the right pass. And if Danny Green makes a shot, then it's what a great find by LeBron.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's not like we've seen LeBron early in his career not take the shot when it was just one-on-one. But then we've seen him do 26 straight against the Pistons. We've seen him go nuts and just make unbelievable shots and make game-winning shots. So I hate the argument that he gets knocked for not taking the big shot when he's taken it and he's made it and he's taken it and missed it. And it would be stupid for me to argue that because Jordan's done the same thing and he didn't make all of his either. So Kobe didn't make all his either. I mean, it's the right play. He had 4 guys on him. How could you? Like, this doesn't make sense.
Yeah, Kobe's killing him right now.
Yeah, JaVale McGee has more rings than Will Chamberlain, Hakeem Olajuwon. Okay. LeBron's already said, LeBron has said that he wants to be in the league when Bronny gets here. Because I think that'd be interesting to see if they play each other. That's why he won't be great. The people won't let him be great. That pass was 100% the correct thing to do. It was. I agree. 100% right play. Danny Green makes a shot. The series is over in 5 games.
Oh, I mean, but come on, Cole. You just said that was the right play, but then a comment before that, you said, no, he has to be the one to take every game-winning shot. If not, he's not great.
No, I think he's saying the issue with LeBron's great is that people aren't allowing him to change his game. In other words, no, they're not. He has to be the one to take every game-winning shot. If not, he's not great. That's what people do to him. And they've done it to him his whole career. Like they say, he doesn't have the killer instinct. How do we...
I feel like if he cleared out, told everybody to go to the wing, rock the baby for 10 seconds, and then just pulled up, and he missed it, they'd be like, oh, that's not LeBron. That's not what he does. Why would he make the best basketball play? He tried to be the man. He tried to do it, and he failed. That's what you get for trying to do stuff like that. You should have just did what you wanted. You should get what. And then he does what he does, and then it's like, why didn't you shoot the last shot? Why didn't you clear everybody out and man up and just take the last shot? It's like you said, damn if you do it.
Yeah.
Damn if you don't.
I think that's just as stupid as like the whole thing with this generation. I don't even say this generation. I don't put everybody in that box, but this seems like the basketball watcher of this time likes that just dribble, step back shot. Like everybody just likes that. That's the way it works. That's just not. That's just the era we're in. Like you think about this. James Harden is considered to be one of the greatest scorers of all time.
Mm-hmm.
And when the ball gets to him, it just stops. It's just we're never gonna say this guy is one of the greatest to ever play the game. He's never gonna be in a GOAT conversation because his team. It's just we watch him like it's the same stuff.
He don't show up in the playoffs.
Right.
He's a front runner. He just the way he plays basketball takes advantage of the rules today. So and he just shoots threes. So you're shooting a bunch of threes and a bunch of free throws. Yeah, you're gonna get 40. You're gonna average 40 points a game. So it's gonna be easy to average that much.
Wait, what is this? What is he talking about? They would say he's not Jordan if he pulled up and missed. Okay. He's not Kobe. That's where Kobe comes into GOAT talk. I knew it was something. Stop. Because
Kobe would have attempted to make the shot. That's why he's in GOAT talk.
That's why he's in the GOAT talk. Kobe's not in the GOAT conversation.
Because Kobe would hog the ball until the last shot and hoped it went in.
Think about some of the greatest games that Kobe has played. God rest his soul. People love Kobe, but the people that respect him but never liked him as a player, he ushered in the generation of one man show. And some of those games, he took like 50 shots. Like, Kobe scored 40 on 50 shots, people. Like I'm not even gonna bring up the last game, right? Because the last game was like shoot it, right? Because this is last night. But if you go back to some of his greatest games, the dude took a ton of shots. It's not in the conversation. He was a killer at winning games. Yes, Kobe, we agree there.
He agrees with you. He's not the GOAT, but he doesn't agree that he's not in the conversation, particularly because the way he played the game. He wasn't afraid to take the shot.
Got you.
Wasn't afraid to be that guy, no matter how many guys were on him. Listen, you watching a Laker game and the game's on the line, you know who the ball is going to, and you know who's going to shoot that ball.
That's the other part, is you know who's going to shoot it. Because if you're watching the LeBron game, you know who's getting the ball,
right?
But you don't know who's going to shoot it.
Right.
Agree. All right.
So, and then, when he makes those shots, he's a legend. I mean, he cements his legacy as a legend for making those big shots. LeBron doesn't help his legacy because he never shoots those shots.
Not never. He has shot them and made them.
I mean, but in the biggest moments, I don't think he's shot those shots.
Do you feel like is that real? Well, what do we define biggest moments? Because like playoffs, he's made them. He's taken them. He's won playoff games.
It's been a while. That's all I'm saying. It's been a while.
Is that a knock on him though? Because the narrative is that big.
I don't think it shades him. I think it doesn't help him though. Like I feel like his notch would move if he took and made those shots. You know what I'm saying? Because that would be just like for Kobe in our comments. Kobe thinks that LeBron deserves to be in the conversation because he wasn't afraid to take those shots. He wasn't afraid to be that guy in that moment. So I think LeBron would be in that conversation or help him propel higher in those conversations if he just had that added thing in his resume.
Got you. Okay.
So guys wouldn't say, Kobe and Jordan, they take those shots. LeBron don't even try to take those shots. He did try to take those shots. I feel like he tried to take those shots, and he made some of them in his youth because he was chasing the ghost.
Right.
So he knew he needed that on his resume. But now I think he's more comfortable in his skin by playing his game. He said that a lot in his pressers after the championship. Like, I want people to respect the way I play the game. I'm happy the way I play the game. So I think he's comfortable in his skin on how he makes the play the game by making the best basketball play. But it definitely would have helped his resume if he was the guy that took the last shot all the time. And you would have those highlights, Kobe falling away, fading away from three-point, bank buzzer shot over Miami. You know what I'm saying? Like, he don't have those moments and those big crucial clutch moments in the playoffs.
Well, I mean,
recently.
Okay, yeah.
I think he's found his skin now that he doesn't want to take those shots or needs to take those shots. He's going for the best. He's going for the best pass or the best play. And the best play is the pass in those situations.
Yeah, you can't count on the clutch every time. Then it becomes a knock. Where's the Mamba mentality?
I think that's what we just explained. Like,
I get it, but I'm just saying. I just think that's a. I've just never been a fan of that argument. I mean, I think we get it. I think we clearly understand why people use it. Ultimately, when you're basing your opinion of greatest, you pull your opinions and you state your case, and it's definitely on the side of those who knock him a little bit. But I just think he's done it. So I think the narrative sometimes is bigger than what he actually has done. I mean, you can look up game-winning shots and find LeBron doing it, right, just like he failed to do it, just like Kobe did it and failed to do it, and Mike did it and failed to do it.
I feel like the game-winning lore is, pull up in somebody's face as the clock winds down, but LeBron has done it. It's probably get to the bucket, get a layup and an and one to seal the game. Like, I'm sure his stats in the final minute are better than both better than Kobe and Jordan. Like, I feel like his stats in the final minute or 30 seconds in clutch situations are probably, his field goal percentage is better than both of theirs because he gets to the cup. It's usually a layup. It's usually an and one. It's usually something like that, but it's not that 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
But he has those too.
It's been a while though. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I know. That's why I think it's the narrative.
He is now where he doesn't take those shots.
It's the recency effect to me. I think that's really what it is. I think it's because that is such the argument all the time. But it's been that way his whole career. It was that way his career early on, even when he was like really trying to do it. His natural sense was to find the open guy, to play the game the right way. And I don't like. I just don't like it as a knock. I just to say that this guy's not a killer and like to me, I guess it's the definition of killer. My man gave you 40 in Game 5 on the road, down 3-1 in the most hostile arena in ever known to man, and he gave you a triple dub. Like, if that ain't clutch. But I mean, yeah, the killer, shot, bam, buzzer goes off, goes wild. Yeah, I guess, but I don't know. I think that's a bad argument. On the last shot, the YCA, do you want Jordan, Kobe, or LeBron? How far away is the shot? is it mid range? If it's mid range, I'm taking Jordan. If it's a 3-pointer, I'm taking Kobe.
I think LeBron is incredible, but when he gets 6, he probably will. I'll struggle to call him the GOAT with the way he's done it with his friends. It's always something. It's always going to be something. This man just said, even if he gets 6 finals MVPs, don't matter. I don't like the way he did it. I just don't like him. Just say you don't like him. Just say you hate him.
Because it's not true.
I respect that.
No, you can't do that.
Just say I'm a hater and I'll never give him the number 1 spot
because
I love Michael's basketball shoes.
That's a flag on you.
Just say that. I would respect the old heads for saying that, then to just keep finding stuff. Oh, he made a super team. Oh, he left Cleveland. Oh, he did this. Oh, he did that. He'll never touch Mike. Just say, I hate him. And I'm always going to hate him because I'm an old hater. And I love Michael so much because he was my childhood hero. And I'll never unthrone him for nobody, no matter what they do.
You sound like a fan right now.
I sound like an old person because that's how they sound. The Michael Jordan.
You can't tell. Just say you hate him. That's not.
Just say you hate him. Wouldn't that be more clear?
No, because I don't hate LeBron, and he's not my GOAT. It's not because it's not about hating. I don't hate him.
No, I'm not directing that at you, man. I'm just saying the majority. Just say you hate him instead of just keep finding ways. You don't call him the GOAT because Mike is 6-0. Y'all like to sit on that. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, people just keep.
I love how you say.
That's true. You just keep adding, like no matter what he does, you just keep adding things. I don't like the way he did this. I don't like the way he did that. I don't like his hairline. I don't like the way he laughs. I don't like the way he runs. You just find stuff. No matter what he does, you're a hater. So just come out and just be a hater, like the racists nowadays. I respect you if you just say I hate black people. Instead of doing other stuff. Just tell me who you are when I meet you. Tell me who you are. Just say I hate LeBron, and we'll be cool from there.
You're in the fandom world right now. You're so fandom right now. Oh, bottom line, Jordan played his entire career without leaving. 2000 would have been his 17th season. He was maybe a top 5 shooting guard with the Wizards. LeBron is arguably still the best player in the league in his 17th season. All right.
Yeah, but nobody brings up the Wizards, Akil, because they throw that away like it never happened. They throw it away. They forget. Jordan fans are forgetful. They don't even know what that looks like. It never happened.
Is that supposed to? Yeah, when he came back as the Wizards, that was more reverence time. But is that supposed to be like? So is him playing in a Wizards jersey supposed to bring his goatness down? Is that what the argument is?
It is.
Gotcha. Okay.
It is.
All right.
Because he didn't go to the finals.
Oh, you had a lot of other good questions on that list. Let's move along.
Oh, I think we got through all of them. I think we got through everything. Did he run out of gas? Is Jimmy a superstar? Is Jimmy top 10? Asterisk or toughest title? GOAT talk LeBron. Are the terms of the debate different? If AD resigns, when does LBJ give up the keys to the franchise? How much longer is LBJ is his elite window? Was the last question. How much longer is his elite window?
I think
for a Bronny thing though, like I feel like once Bronny finishes high school, enter the league, don't go in the draft, become a free agent, and go play with your pop.
Okay. That would be cool. Great story to finish his career on.
I feel like that would be great. Like LeBron James Jr. does not declare for the draft, and then he's just going to try out for teams at 18, and then the Lakers just pick him up.
I knew Kobe was gonna think that was a little harsh. I thought that was a little harsh too. Just tell me a
Come
race.
on, man. Correlation. It's not calling you a racist. I'm just comparing these two races.
I'm not calling you racist. I'm just comparing you to one. Oh man. Oh, you want to talk NFL at all before we call it a show today?
I wasn't calling him a racist. I was just comparing, the thoughts.
Just, it might be too soon. It's still 2020. Like, that's a strong word. Those are strong words.
Come on, man. You should know where my heart is. I sound like a white person talking to black people. You know where my heart is.
Oh God, this is we're spiraling. We're spiraling.
NFL, Dak Prescott broke his ankle, bro. Prayers out to Dak Prescott. That was nasty. You think they still gonna pay him?
Man, I hope so, but I don't think Jimmy Jones gives a hoot about what we think, or Jerry Jones, excuse me. I was gonna be honest, bro. At the end of the day, the media is gonna kill the Cowboys for not paying him.
Yeah.
They're going to kill them for not paying him, because the whole league right now is for Dak. Like, everybody's for Dak except for the 32 owners in the NFL. Everybody's for Dak right now. So if this man does not get his money, the league's gonna kill the Cowboys. I hope he gets back. I think he can get back. I think an ankle, they rebuilt it, of course, and with today's medical technology and the way these guys recover, I think he'll be back. And the guy's a good enough quarterback to get his money. But yes, Kobe said it's a business, and it is. It's a business. But at the end of the day, it's not going to be the greatest public PR situation if they don't pay this man. But I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't pay him. And that's just sad, because I felt bad for my man yesterday. When he picked his leg up, I was like, oh.
He was like, ah.
Yep, that boy is pointing the wrong way.
Yeah, it'll be tough. Like, y'all didn't want to pay him in the beginning. Like, he was kind of hoping that he was going to play himself out of that contract. Yeah. And now you're going to pay him to sit out for a year to rehab? Like, right. That's tough.
So what, he got a 4 to 6 month recovery time, right?
I don't see him playing next season.
He was making 30-something mil this year.
On the tag.
On the tag.
Yeah.
4 to 6 months.
Again for extra 10? Like, or you give him a contract and let him sit a year and pay him the 40, or how much Russell making? 35 a year or something like that?
Something, yeah. I think he can be back by kickoff next fall. I mean, that's kickoff next fall is 8 to 10 months away. The recovery time is 4 to 6. Let's assume he recovers faster because these guys just heal better nowadays.
Yeah, but it could be Alex Smith and just a whole bunch of complications.
Well, like all things considered, right? The surgery went well. Yeah. Let's assume that it goes well and it stays normal. It's just normal recovery. He could arguably be back by midsummer as far as like OTAs.
Okay.
So what will happen is they will franchise him again. And to me, you could say right now, the man did enough this year to show you, because y'all not even getting close in those games unless he plays the way he played, and y'all was 1-4. Okay, like you looked horrible defensively. They couldn't stop the water from running if they had their hand on the faucet.
Right.
Okay, you're not in these games unless Dak is balled out, and he was on pace to have a record season this year. And don't give me the crap of, well, you don't know. No, they were gonna be 2-14 and losing the East, but he was gonna throw for like 5,500 yards or more. Like, he's gonna have a career year.
Right.
So pay the man.
Throw that thing to stay in the game.
Right, but pay the man, and they won't. They won't. Sorry.
Yeah, I agree with you and Kobe, man. They'll franchise him, and figure it out from it. That's the easiest route. Like you don't take too much flack for not re-signing them and having to be a free agent and having to rehab on his own. And you're not in a financial situation where you're giving a guy 5 years, $100-something million, and you don't know if he's going to be damaged goods or not. Like you want to see if he can play football first.
Yep. Now you got to wait to see if he can play.
Yeah. That was tough. All right, what else? News and notes. The Kansas City Chiefs lose their first game against the Las Vegas Raiders.
Raiders got him. Raiders got him at home. No, didn't see it coming, but did we really think the Chiefs were going undefeated?
Like, I didn't think they was going to lose to the Raiders.
I didn't either. The sky's definitely not falling in Kansas City, but I think Raiders just played a great game. You played a good game. You defended well. People are saying, is that the blueprint? I don't know if there is one.
Yeah. I think the Chiefs played themselves because they didn't run the ball. Like you got a young running back, use them. I think they get so pass happy sometimes and so gadgety that they forget like you got a back that can get you 4 or 5 yards a carry.
Right.
Run the thing.
I agree. Run the ball. Running the ball is at a premium this year. I think running the ball makes everybody better. You look at the teams that are doing it. I think it's the way to go. I saw your comment. Andy Dalton will get a contract. I don't think Andy Dalton will get a contract. I think they'll tag him. I think Andy Dalton will get a backup contract, but I think they'll tag. I mean, from a business perspective.
Yeah, Andy Dalton still has a horrible defense. So.
Yeah, it's not like Andy Dalton's about to look like a superstar. Like that's what you guys call the quintessential emotional win right there. They weren't losing that game. Right. After your leader left the field with a ankle pointing east.
That was a good ball though by Dalton, though. To get him down there.
To get him, great. More of a stupid catch by Gallup. Yeah. But I don't think it's not going to end up that bad. Like Dallas wouldn't do that, would they?
Shout out to Red Zone. Great investment, by the way. Thank you, sir.
$10. No wonder
everything, man.
Jay doesn't come over my house anymore on Sundays. Why? Because he got Red Zone. $10.
No, because I'll be tired after work, bro. Don't pay me like that.
$10. I'm glad you invested.
Yes, sir. All right. What other news and notes, man? Like you said, we got Monday night games. I hope Kamara don't go off tonight because I got a nice W in the bag right now. Kamara just don't go for 40 tonight, and I'll be good.
Kamara don't go for 40. Yeah, I mean, other news and notes. I mean, it's just with the NFL, man. It's COVID. It's like, are these guys going to be able to pull this off? Is this a result of bad behavior, or is there something going on? Kobe said $10. Hey, 1-800-XFINITY.
Xfinity, dog. Add it
$10. I think that you got to wonder, how does this all play out with these teams? I mean,
it's just and it could be just as simple as one reckless person, like especially in a tight situation.
Yes.
One reckless executive, one reckless football player, and he just going around not knowing and affecting everybody.
And then he might not be reckless. He might just be going around not knowing. He's affecting everybody.
Right.
Yeah, it's tough.
Reckless in the sense, not like actively affecting people, but reckless in the sense of you're a professional athlete, your teammates count on you, don't put yourself in situations where you're not protected. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's all I mean.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. Yeah, Monday Night Football's got Chargers and Saints, and it's 0-0 right now.
Come on, Chargers. Chargers defense. Yeah. Let's go.
Come on, Chargers defense. Come on, Drew Brees. Have a career night, and I can just sniff a win.
Career night.
I can sniff a win. I need like 4 touchdowns and 400 yards from Drew Brees.
Oh, man.
That ain't happening.
Oh, man.
I need the Superdome fans.
My team balled this week. I'm so happy. Absolutely balled.
Yeah.
DK put the icing on the cake last night. Oh, yeah. What's Russell Wilson, bro? Like, that last drive, I mean, for them Minnesota showed up, but it was like, I thought they were going to get creamed. But
do we go for it on that? If that's us, do you go for it, 4th and 1? The running back missed the cut, right? There was
Yeah,
a huge hole open. Do you go
yeah.
for that or kick the field goal and play for 8?
And going against Russell, I'll probably kick it.
Yeah, I probably
You got to
would
know your
too.
opponent there.
Yeah, yeah. It was like when they gave the ball back to him, it was like it's gonna be. You
Yeah,
kind of knew,
he's
and
the new
he
Brady.
always
Like
makes
you
it
can't give
look
him time on the
crazy.
clock.
Yeah, he always makes it look amazing.
Yeah,
Always makes it look amazing, and not off some bogus stuff either. Wasn't no random call. It wasn't no something that helped them get 40 yards. He
yeah.
drove them jokers down the field, and they
Yeah.
won the game.
He threw that laser in there real tight. So yeah, I mean, so who's MVP? A-Rod or Russell?
Ooh, I think right now you got to give it to Russ. A little bit. It's close though. You got to give it to Russ. I mean, you remember the whole argument with Brady about him not having receivers?
Yeah.
So like with what A-Rod is doing with Lazard, who's now out. I mean, he's doing it with
Yeah, he's done.
Valdez Scantling.
Yeah.
I mean,
Guys
he's making
you never heard of.
yeah, he's making tight
never heard
ends.
of.
Like yeah, I mean, so you would then you argue that too. But I think it's closest with Russ right now because with Russ, it's the way he's doing it. It just looks ooh. I think if A-Rod does one of those numbers where he takes a team down the field and wins a game like that, do some clutch things, then that'll really make it a real tough debate. But I think right now A-Rod edges. I mean, Russ is edging A-Rod a little bit.
Okay. Yeah,
I
I'm
hate
on the train, bro. I think you know how leagues like narratives.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Like A-Rod already got his MVP. You know, he's already classified himself as a future Hall of Famer.
Yep.
And in some regards, so has Russell, but he's just missing that one piece of hardware to legitimize his standings, you know, in the quarterback realm. So like
when y'all gonna finally give it to him, you know?
Yeah, I think everybody, you know, is ready to crown him, and you know, and rightfully so. So I hope he has a strong season.
Who the Lions got coming up this week?
I don't care. I mean, let's be honest, bro. Like, whoever they got, I hope they lose. Like,
whoever they got, I hope they lose.
Like, keep losing.
Oh gosh.
Keep losing. I want you to lose.
The Browns have the Steelers.
Week 5.
Tough week, another tough one. The Indianapolis Colts, that was a tough game. Number 1 defense, they grinded it out. I'm not used to this, so I don't know how to act right now.
And
don't
worry, the other shoe's ready to drop soon.
All right, and then they got the Steelers this week.
Next week, Houston at Tennessee. If it happens.
If it happens. Houston's coming off their first win. Tennessee's gonna get it though. Tennessee's a good football team. If they just gotta play some games.
They are. I don't know what this layoff is going to do to them though. Like Houston looked good. I don't know. That's a hard one. They just off of.
But Houston's not that good though.
They're not. But was it Bill O'Brien?
Well,
was Bill O'Brien holding them back?
Maybe. We'll see.
Cincinnati at Indianapolis.
Indianapolis. That defense is real. Thanks to Cincinnati stays in it. Thanks to Phillip Rivers as always. I'm thankful for Phillip Rivers yesterday.
Thank you, Phillip.
He threw 2 picks and threw himself into a safety. I appreciated that. So I'm still that team's real though. I'm gonna ride that defense on my fantasy team. So I still like them over Cincinnati. Cincinnati's still not there yet.
Man, I'm definitely picking Cincinnati over Indianapolis. I feel like, Mixon is prime for another big game. Joe Burrow just has to play real conservative football.
They cannot protect him.
They can't, but Indianapolis pass rush ain't no good anyway. And if they're still without Darius Leonard, the best defensive person, I give Cincinnati a shot.
Okay.
Atlanta at Minnesota. That's a
dumpster fire. Minnesota's maybe found something yesterday, so I'm going to go Minnesota all the way in that game. Atlanta, GM and head coach fired, and the president is just on record of saying Ryan's quarterback future will have to wait and see. Yeah,
I mean, all that talent and you don't win. Like, what's really good? Like,
it's worn out. The system is worn out, and it was time for a change. He kept his job a lot longer than many other people would have.
Yeah, they tuned him all the way out. Like, they're loaded. I don't get it. Denver at New England, if it happens.
If it happens. I got New England. Because by the time they play again, Cam will be back.
Hopefully. No, I think he got at least 2 weeks in.
Is it?
Yeah, usually quarantine is probably like
two
14
negatives.
days.
But I thought it was just 2 negatives. If you go 2 back-to-back negatives, you're good.
Oh, no matter what?
That's what I thought it was. We had to look up the protocols.
Washington football team at New York. That's an ugly game.
Oh.
Why did he keep Alex Smith in that whole game? Like, was he trying to prove something? Or I don't understand.
I guess it was just to show the world, hey,
He's back. But while he's there, we're going to kill him while he's there. What? Sacked 47 times while he's in the game.
Yeah, I mean, what other option was there? Kyle Allen?
I mean, Kyle Allen was there. He got knocked out, but he was ready to go back in the game, and they never put him back in the game. And and Alex Smith has got like the world record of sacks in the game. Like they showed the little video of his wife, like, really emotional because he got back on the football field. Great story. Like he worked so hard to get back on the football field. But then Passion of Christ him as soon as he get in there. Like he got destroyed that whole game. But you never took him out.
Oh man.
Baltimore at Philadelphia. Did we pick that? New York.
I'm going Washington.
Baltimore at Philly.
Baltimore's angry. Baltimore hasn't been playing well. They haven't been playing well. Yeah,
What's
Lamar. Hey, I hate to say it, but are we experiencing the Madden curse again?
Sophomore slump?
Well, he was due for one. We all know that, but stop putting these guys on the cover of Madden. Hey, Google it. It's real. He is not right now. He is not the situation. He's not happening like MVP ball right now. I don't know. They're struggling. I think they got the dub this weekend, right?
Who? Baltimore? Yeah, they won.
They won, but it just didn't look good.
Yeah, I think he threw for under 100 yards. Like it wasn't a good showing for me.
Yeah, I mean what's the scheme on him? Keep him in front of you, right?
Right.
Make him throw from the pocket. Keep him in front of you. Don't keep your rush lanes, and then you got to tackle in space, which it's easier said than done. But the book might be out. The NFL is a copycat league, and everybody knows once they get enough film on you, they're gonna make it hard for you until you adjust. So it'll be interesting to see what happens.
Yeah, they really relied on their defense that last game. Was it Queen, their rookie middle linebacker? Yep. He killed Burrow the whole game.
And apparently he doesn't like Burrow, and they went to school together.
Good for him. Yeah. he must have killed him in practice every week.
Yeah.
Cleveland at Pittsburgh. That's a great test for your Cleveland team. Great test.
Very, very big test on the road with 12,000 fans or less or something like that. Because I think they have had some fans in their building in Pittsburgh. I have to pick my Browns. I'm not picking against them, but I'm nervous because I just it feels good to if we lose this game to be 4-2 and not 2-4, wondering what's going to happen. But I'm nervous about this one. But I definitely think we can play with them because we can run the football. So their defensive line is tough as well.
Yeah, you didn't miss a beat rushing the ball. I think Kareem Hunt did a good job. You're out Greedy Williams back on IR.
Yep.
Your receivers came up big, but your quarterback is still Baker Mayfield.
First time throwing picks in a long time. He hasn't had a bad game since game one. I'm trusting coaching in this too. Stefanski's showing himself to be a very good offensive mind so far. I like his leadership. I like his demeanor, and hopefully Baker learns from it.
I think this is a pick six. This game. I think Mick is gonna get him. I don't know. And then this Claypool kid just went nuts. When he was going nuts, I was checking the waiver. I was like, "Did anybody got him?" I was like, "No, that's a hot 40 ball on the waiver wire."
Yeah, nobody's listen. Somebody's gonna go after. Everybody's going after him in this week's waiver wire. So whoever's got number one pick in our league, congratulations.
Man, that kid went nuts. But I mean, you don't expect it twice. But I don't know. That might be the game. That might be the best 1 o'clock game.
Yeah, it definitely is. Yes, it is homer talk by me, Kobe, 100%.
Chicago at Carolina. Who cares?
Carolina. I like what they're doing without Christian McCaffrey. Let's go, Teddy B. And I hate Chicago.
Teddy B, Mike Davis. You know how heavily invested I was in that Carolina-Atlanta game? Heavily invested. Heavily invested. I had Gurley, Bridgewater, Davis, the kicker. I was so invested in that game.
Wow. And they all had good games, too. Good job.
And they all balled out. Detroit at Jacksonville. Jacksonville. Let's go, Jags. Gardner Minshew. Let's do it.
I'm picking Detroit.
Put a 40 ball on them.
Detroit, man. They're going to get another win.
Bill O'Brien, O'Quinn, or whatever his name was. Matt Patricia. Come on, be next. New York Jets at Miami.
Oh, God. Miami.
Pick up every Miami player that you can right now.
Yeah. Because the Jets defense is horrible. Oh, my God. Pick up Ryan Fitzpatrick this week.
Oh, man, Ryan Fitzpatrick's going to ball this week. If you got any quarterback issues, go get Ryan Fitzpatrick.
Oh, man, that's good.
Green Bay at Tampa Bay. Ooh, A-Rod and Tom, 425. I'm watching that game.
Green Bay all day, baby.
Oh,
Green Bay all day.
Yeah, I think people are ready to crown Tampa for, but I don't think they're there yet. I don't think they figured it out offensively quite yet.
Play the tape. Somebody talk about somebody ready to crown somebody. Somebody go back and get the tape from that episode.
Listen,
you crowned them already.
I have crowned them, but I'm just saying they haven't figured it out yet, and I don't know.
So now you're being analytical.
Yeah, I am right now, and they they haven't had both of their receivers healthy at the same time. Fournette's been injured. Their tackles are trash. Man, they showed that clip of Khalil Mack throwing his offensive tackle, and I'm like, the line is trash, bro. They got a lot to work on if they want to compete in the later months. But I'm picking Green Bay because I need A-Rod to go off. Los Angeles Rams versus the San Francisco 49ers.
Rams, San Francisco 49ers.
Now, what happened with Garoppolo in this game?
Bro, he came in, started the game. He was horrible. They were horrible. They were down 30 at halftime. They come out for the second half, and they put this man on the bench and say it's to protect him because of the ankle injury.
Oh, Fitzpatrick went crazy. Okay. All right.
Yeah. I'm picking the Rams.
It's garbage. Yeah,
Jimmy Garoppolo was low-key garbage anyway, and everybody just thought he was great because the 49ers were really good with their defense. This dude was like for real, 200-yard passer per game manager.
Listen, as a Lions fan, we know about being Bill Belichick, okay? You thought you had a good guy just because he was on the Patriots, so you try to snatch him up, and then you realize they all hot piling, stinking piles of garbage. Sorry, San Francisco. Welcome to the club.
Yep. Does garbage really stink when it's hot?
Oh, man. You ever been behind a dump truck in the middle of the summer, driving behind them? Think you got your AC on and that smell just comes looming in your car? Smell like diapers.
Oh, God. Oh, man.
So we got 2 Monday night games. Kansas City at Buffalo at 5 o'clock on Fox. That's a good game.
That's a very good
Josh
game.
Allen, are you real?
At Kansas City, how mad are you?
In Kansas City, how mad are you?
Yeah, angry football team.
That's a really good game. And then I think
I'm going KC with that game.
Oh, I actually have to think about it. I'll go Kansas City too because I don't think Buffalo has the rushing attack like Vegas had to beat Kansas City. They definitely have the passing attack, but I feel like Kansas City's secondary is better than their front four. So I will go with Kansas City. Arizona at Dallas is the other Monday night game.
Arizona wins that one because there's no way I'm trusting Andy Dalton.
Like Arizona won last week, I believe, but Kyler Murray was still kind of shaky. Never mind. Kyler Murray has career high 380 yards. But I feel like he threw an interception early on this one, though.
He might have, but
he can't be throwing interceptions against the Jets.
But they still won.
I feel like he found D-Hop late because D-Hop wasn't scoring at all that game, and then all of a sudden it was like touchdown Diop, touchdown Diop. I was like, no, fantasy, stop, please, break this game in, stop it.
Oh gosh, I wish I could have that much fun with my fantasy team.
Yeah, I got Arizona too. Vegas, New Orleans, the Chargers,
is that a rematch?
Seattle. They're all on a bye, huh?
Oh, okay, gotcha. You were just naming the bye teams, okay?
Yep, they're all on a bye this week. I got to figure out who plays wide receiver for DK. Hey, Chase Claypool, you think I'll be able to get him?
No, I think I might get him because I think I'm number one in the list.
You ain't number one. The worst team is number one.
I am the worst team.
You are not the worst team. You ain't worse than Brian's team.
Brian's team just beat me. And we love our sponsors here.
We love our sponsors here at the Academy Sports Show. One big Mr. Mike Vaughn's Plumbing. Vaughn's Plumbing provides top quality services at great prices. Whether it's just getting up your cold, waterproofing, and daily home services, we suggest you call the man.
313-304-7786.
VaughnsPlumbing.com. Gives you a map of all the areas that they service as well as the services that they provide. But we suggest you call the man.
313-304-7786.
That man right there is the real finals MVP. Shout out Mike Vaughn's Plumbing.
Oh, God.
What did Kobe say? I got a great squad. They haven't played well yet. Yeah, man. And listen.
I do too.
Listen, I'll be sending y'all trades and y'all don't be.
You don't send me a thing. I haven't gotten a trade.
Y'all don't be, checking your boy out. I'll be sending. Listen, I've been offering up early for the last 2 weeks. I'm gonna keep him now. Like he been popping up for me. It could have been you.
You haven't sent me anything.
I don't think I send you nothing because your running back stash. I can't get nothing back if I send you something.
Yeah, like my situation just went south when my man went on IR.
Chubb went down. Yeah.
And then I had a bye week because I have Aaron Lindsey. I have
something Lindsey.
Yeah, I have the running. I have the running. My bad. I have the running back from Green Bay.
Aaron
Jones, and they were on a bye week. So you're talking about double whammy. Bye week, Aaron Jones, IR, Nick Chubb. This week I was going to play Nick Chubb with my sub, and then rotated because the Green Bay bye was coming up.
Yeah,
and it all hit me all at once. So, but thus the life of general managing in the fantasy world.
Yes, Kobe, I did go for your best running back. That was a part of my trade acumen. But what did your best running back get for you this week?
He's waiting for his response.
Your best running back got you 11 points this week. You should have traded him to me. Ty Gurley had over 20. Who was wrong here? You, not me. I'm just saying. Take my trades when I send them to you. That's all I'm saying. I'm trying to look out for y'all. I'm here for the people. I know we're going over. I got one question. This is the last question. I know we're supposed to do crystal balls. I got one question. Gives you easy scores with your quarterback. Hey, listen, man. Don't judge my team. I won't judge yours. So listen. Do you think that LeBron is a little manipulative to AD? Do you think like he plays up this big brother role to him just a little too hard just to keep him around? Like you feel like he can sun him like in a little cerebral way?
Maybe. I don't have enough to ride with that though. Like I could see it, but I don't have anything to point to. Like I didn't feel like anything looked like disingenuous last night. I felt like it was sincere. Felt like there was a lot of like subliminal, like inside joke happening. Rachel Nichols went a little long with the interview.
She did.
And so I think it was just one of those. But no, I don't have anything. I have nothing to point to there. I'd have to hear some rumors coming from Woj or somebody saying that there's some inner turmoil or something going on, that some in-house stuff. He seems to have always been good at this whole big brother, senior guy.
Okay.
Greatness, respect is earned. He can yell at you because he puts the work in. The only hating we've ever heard was from Kyrie, so I don't think there's enough smoke there.
All right. Just asking. I was like, maybe he's just really good at this whole thing. All
Hey,
right. That's all. That's all.
you're a goat, so I don't know. That's classic. Look at your face. Would that knock down his GOAT points if he was manipulating AD? I'm just wondering. Hey, don't forget you can follow us on IG, YouTube. Follow us on IG at Dre_on-air. Me at JWill02. Also, you follow me on Academy Sport. Follow us on Academy Sports Show on YouTube, and you can always link up to us on Facebook. Don't forget, if you're interested in sponsoring, hearing your business read live on our show, and also again in podcast land, hit us up at academysportsshow@gmail.com. That's Academy Sports Show with 2 S's, Academy Sports S Show @gmail.com. And we'll get you the information that you need. As always, we appreciate everybody joining us in podcast land. So if you're listening to the show and it is not Monday, you can check us out live every Monday, 7 o'clock on YouTube. But we do appreciate you listening to us on the Purple Podcast app if you're using an iPhone, or if you're using an Android, you are listening to us on SoundCloud. So just make sure you look us up if you want to go back and hear any of our other shows. And if you're ever interested in hearing us live, just search the Academy Sports Show on YouTube, and you will see this logo that you see in the top right-hand corner of your screen, and you will see our faces and our shows. You'll be welcome to watch them. That's it, man.
That's it.
Once again, we did it.
Once again, man, terrific show. I appreciate you, brother, and everything you do. I appreciate the comment section for being fire today. Shout out to you, man. Thanks for sticking with us all day, brother. And it's a wrap.
It's a wrap. We'll see you guys next week. Peace.